Hey there, seniors. Michael here from Seniors Money. If you're like me, you've been feeling the pinch of rising costs lately with inflation hitting levels we haven't seen in decades. Everything from groceries to utilities to healthcare seems to keep going up and up. Well, I've got some potentially great news for you that could help ease that financial burden a bit. The Canadian government has announced an increase to old age security payments of up to $1,700 per year for lower-income seniors to help counter the effects of high inflation. That's a huge boost that could make a real difference in your monthly budget and quality of life. Just imagine what you could do with an extra $141 per month. Pay down some debt, cover rising heating costs, get caught up on property taxes, or simply breathe a little easier knowing you've got more financial padding. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau himself announced this significant increase, stating that no senior should have to choose between keeping their home warm, paying for medications, or putting food on the table. With inflation remaining stubbornly high, the government is taking action to support vulnerable seniors struggling to make ends meet. This video is going to break down all the details around this OAS increase, who exactly qualifies, how much you could receive based on your income level, when the payments will start flowing, and how to ensure you're set up to get every penny you're owed. So stick around, because having a few extra $100 landing in your bank account every month could make a world of difference right now. Let's dive into the OAS increase and make sure you get the financial support you need and deserve. To fully understand the significance of this old age security increase, it's important to look at the bigger picture of inflation and its impacts, especially on seniors and those on fixed incomes. As I'm sure you're well aware, the cost of living has skyrocketed over the past couple of years. The annual inflation rate in Canada hit a peak of 8.1% in June 2022, the highest it's been since the 1980s. While it has come down some since that record high, inflation remains very elevated at around 5% as of early 2024. What exactly does that mean? Essentially, the purchasing power of every dollar you have is being eroded. The money coming in from sources like OAS, CPP, workplace pensions, and savings is buying less and less every month as food, shelter, transportation, and other key expenses become more and more expensive. For most working Canadians, while challenging, higher inflation can potentially be offset by wage increases, taking on extra work, or pivoting to a higher-paying job. But for retirees subsisting on fixed incomes with little chance to earn more, sustained high inflation can be devastating. StatCan data shows that Canadians aged 65 and over have faced higher inflation rates than the general population over the past couple of years. Steep rises in home maintenance costs, rent, property taxes, healthcare expenses, and especially groceries have taken a major bite out of seniors' buying power and quality of life. A 2022 survey found that 23% of Canadian seniors have burned through some of their retirement savings prematurely to keep up with the rising cost of living. And more than 1 in 10 seniors admitted to skipping meals, cutting back on heating, or rationing life-sustaining medication due to affordability issues made worse by high inflation. The Old Age Security Program was designed specifically to prevent scenarios like these, to ensure Canadian seniors above a certain age could meet their basic needs with a modest but reliable income stream from the government. OAS payments are intended to supplement the Canadian Pension Plan (CPP) and any other retirement income sources, providing a foundation to cover essentials like food, housing, and healthcare without falling into abject poverty. Currently, the maximum OAS payment for low-income seniors is around $690 per month. Not exactly a king's ransom, but enough to make a real difference, especially now that costs have ballooned so dramatically. But even this baseline support is only available to those with minimal other income. Above a certain threshold, OAS payments are gradually clawed back. The old age security pension is currently paid out at a full rate if your annual income is below $81,920 for the 2023 tax year. Above that level, the OAS payment is reduced at a rate of 15 cents for every dollar of income received, until it is completely phased out for those earning $140,071 or more. For most seniors relying primarily on OAS and CPE as their main sources of income, the OAS payment would keep coming at the full amount. But with inflation hitting over 8%, that static income stream was simply failing to stretch as far anymore. That's where the newly announced OAS increase of up to $1,700 per year comes into play. The Trudeau government acknowledged that current support levels are being overwhelmed by historically high inflation, leaving too many vulnerable seniors struggling to afford necessities. This one-time inflationary increase is a temporary measure to help seniors on fixed incomes retain their purchasing power and standard of living in the face of skyrocketing costs. So let's look at the details of who qualifies and how much extra you could receive. Firstly, it's important to note that this is not a permanent raise to the standard OAS payment levels. Rather, it is being framed by the government as targeted temporary inflation relief for low-income seniors who are disproportionately impacted by rising costs. The increase will be paid out quarterly over the course of 1 year, from July 2024 through June 2025. It is essentially a 13th OAS payment for the year, distributed in 4 separate installments to help cover those recurring essential costs that have become so inflated. So as you can see, the increase is focused on providing relief for lower-income seniors who rely most heavily on OAS as a core source of funds. But it does still provide at least some level of temporary inflation support for a fairly wide range of income levels below the clawback threshold. It's estimated that 3.3 million Canadian seniors will benefit from this one-time OAS increase at varying amounts. For a senior whose only income is the base $690 per month OAS pension, getting an extra $1,700 over the course of the year amounts to a 20.5% raise in annual income. A huge boost at a time when prices keep climbing relentlessly. Even someone receiving the maximum OAS amount of around $9,000 per year plus CPP payments and other limited retirement income could still qualify for somewhere between $500 to $1,500 in extra temporary inflation relief under this targeted increase, depending on their total income for 2023. So there you have it, folks. All the key details around the federal government's temporary old age security increase of up to $1,700 per year to help low-income seniors cope with historically high inflation. Whether you qualify for the maximum amount, a small or partial increase, or unfortunately miss out due to higher retirement income levels, I hope this video has provided you with a clear understanding of how this inflation relief payment is structured and what to expect over the coming year. If you are among the 3.3 million seniors entitled to receive this extra OAS installment, that cash flow could make a meaningful difference in your monthly budget and ability to comfortably afford basic necessities without falling behind. Every dollar counts when prices keep climbing relentlessly. That said, I know this temporary increase is not a full, permanent solution to the challenges rampant inflation poses for seniors on fixed incomes. More comprehensive reforms and sustained commitment to boosting retirement incomes are likely needed from the government in the years ahead. But in this current crisis period of consumer price acceleration not seen in 40 years, it's positive to see tangible steps being taken to protect society's most financially vulnerable members, our seniors and elders living on extremely modest means. If you have any other questions about eligibility, timing of payments, taxes, or anything else related to this OAS increase, I'd encourage you to visit the official Service Canada website at canada.ca/old-age-security or give their call center a ring. The contact information will be included in the video description below. And of course, as always, I welcome you to continue this conversation and share your own perspective on this temporary OAS increase down in the comments section. Is it enough? Is the tiered approach based on income level fair? What other types of senior income protection measures would you like to see implemented? I read and respond to as many comments as I can, so let me know your thoughts and if you have any personal situations to share about how this could impact your financial well-being over the coming year. That's all for this video on the OAS increase, but I'll be back again very soon with more retiring and personal finance insights to help make your golden years as comfortable and secure as possible. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll be the first to know whenever I release new content. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other. We're all in this daunting battle against inflation together, doing our best to make ends meet in very challenging circumstances. A little extra money from the government can go a long way, so make sure you get all the support you qualify for. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Seniors Money. Until then, stay healthy, stay positive, and keep pressing on.